Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're going to give everyone a moment to find their way here. Interesting technological stuff going on. And I'm not that surprised. I was feeling into this, and the fact that Council of Light, the guides, wanted me to do this a different way rather than through Zoom. They wanted me to do YouTube Live. I recognize that I don't normally use YouTube, but I have before, and it hasn't been this complicated. Just to give you a little background on what's been going on for me as a way to kind of point to the energies that are happening right now. I've had a lot of technical stuff going on. My website is for 4 days. I've been on the phone with tech support a few times about it. They assure me it's going to be remedied soon. I now have a workaround for that because there's always a way. I'll explain that a little bit later. But the point being, I've had a lot of technical things going wonky in my world for about the last week, 10 days. And different devices, different issues. Hopefully you all can hear me because part of the issues in a group session I did a while back was my microphone stopped working kind of spontaneously. So what the guides are wanting me to bring forward here, they're saying to what's going on energetically right now, and for each of us, and for the collective, for humanity, planet Earth, and even galactically. There's a massive rewiring going on. Reset, reboot, upgrade. And anytime there's an upgrade with technology, for many of us, we experience glitches. Because as things that weren't compatible start to show, they're not compatible with the new whatever software or system or hardware, whatever's being installed, the new grids in this case, it's going to show itself. Ooh, there's something that's not compatible here. This needs upgraded too, or it needs retired and a new one brought in. So all of this is symbolic. And because I do, for my work, a lot of work with the grids, with the literally renovation, planet Earth that's going on and galactically, my world will show, kind of mirror what's going on in the upgrade technology higher dimensions. And I used to work in technology, computer support, taught computers for a while, computer software. And I recognize that anytime there's an upgrade, system upgrade, there are glitches that have to be resolved. And so that's what's going on right now in my world. Lots of glitches. And it's also kind of symbolic of what we're going to begin entering into as the new phase in masking what they want to label it. Ascension planet Earth, Ascension Earth. And so as we approach the equinox, it's really a launch point into the new. And not that we haven't already launched into the new, but it's happening in phases. And this way, there are different rollouts of upgrades. And we're preparing for a new rollout right now. And so with all of that, we just invite you to take a deep breath in. None of this is intended to overwhelm you. It's just meant to be information that you can bring in your own unique way. And the intention is really from an empowered perspective. If we know that we're going through an upgrade, if we know humanity's in the process of a renovation, planet Earth renovation, we know how to hold our energy, and we can remain calm in the midst of the changes. and allow ourselves to lean into who we are in truth while all this is happening. And that's really what today's transmission was inspired by. When I asked, I can feel what's coming, I can energetically sense something about to roll out. And I ask, okay, how can we prepare? What's the most helpful at this time? This is always my own mantra. I choose to be truly helpful from an empowered and co-creative place, not from trying to tell you what to think or do, but just inviting you in and empowered ways of holding yourselves in relationship to what's in the process of unfolding and what's to come. So if someone could just let me know in the chat, and hello everyone, hello from the Netherlands, hello, nice to see you all. Can you hear me okay, and is it cutting out at all? Because I'll go a little bit slower if I know the video audio is kind of cutting out just a bit. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay. So the first energetic process is, they're saying, to help everyone ground, including me. When we're in this massive influx, which we're in right now, that's preparing us for the upgrade, we have more charge, electrical charge, if you will. And so we just need to ground more. So we're going to invite everyone at the level of your higher selves to work with the energetic fields and the guides to energetically reference far beyond the mind. So this is like maybe something you've never linked into before, allowing your higher self, body, David's higher self, to do this work. Your own unique way of grounding you as you energetically link in with your future selves that know what's to come, your guides, your advisors. What's the appropriate way for you to ground you? And for your body, David, to ground itself, because they're different ways. You're different beings. You have different energetic fields. And to bring in your own unique ways of being, mechanisms, and stances that stabilize you, ground you in a very empowered, honoring way that's in alignment with your true essence. So if you've been using, and your higher self will know this, your body's higher self will know this, a way of grounding that isn't your own, we invite you to retire those ways of being, those grids, those energetic overlays being shown like a fabric, and bring in your own that work for you. And so for you souls that know and feel into your galactic selves, it's probably going to be galactic. As Earth ascends, things change. What used to work may not work anymore. Just like what we talked about with, as we upgrade into new systems, which we are doing, we have to continually review if the old mechanisms we're using still apply, still work, or do we need to upgrade? So in this case, we're inviting an upgrade of the grounding mechanisms, fabric grids, magnetic grids, roots, and how you do it. Inviting your higher self that knows, some energetic aspect of you working with your future self that knows, to bring it in your own unique way. You begin to craft, weave your own unique, upgraded grounding grids, mechanisms, fabric, returning any of it that's not yours, any of it that's ancestral, back to them, sending appropriate energetic information. Just witnessing that. And so an aspect of this is that as we evolve and even remember and awaken, our old way of seeing ourselves, perceiving ourselves, identifying as this aspect of life is being invited to expand, to shift, to evolve so that we can actually align energies, stances, vibrational fabrics that you wouldn't be able to reach for in the old identification of you because you're holding certain fabrics, grids around you that perhaps align with an old version of you. Think of this as you becoming, in the midst of becoming your name, whatever your name is, 2.0 or 3.0 or 6.0, next version of you. And so as we make this leap, if we're anchored into our true self, then we're not attached to the old fabric that was maybe manifesting as our preferences, our beliefs, our ways of identifying in the world. None of that's the behaviors, the beliefs, the thoughts, very radical. But all of that exists at a certain frequency that when you go up an octave, upgrade you, new frequency, new thoughts, new behaviors, new ways of holding yourself and perceiving, and maybe not even so much beliefs, because it's more you leaning into your knowing, which really transcends belief. We're going to model that. We're going to bring this in energetically, showing you what we mean by that. Can we remind you what it feels like, how to, and that it's safe for you to know and remember who you are in truth? And we're going to bring this in for your body devas as well, and the teams, for them in their own unique way. And will you allow the part of you that knows to remind you of who you are in truth, beyond the mind stories around who you are, even if it's a lofty story, like I am a being of light. Yes, that's true. But what we're inviting you into is far beyond words. The I am a being of light can point to it. Go beyond the words. We're going to help you do that if you choose. Go deeper within. And as you do this process, we're going to invite you to update where you're referencing you on this truth that is far beyond words. The truth of you. Can we show you what it feels like, how to, and that it's safe for you to access the truth of you? The authentic you. and to activate and amplify that resonance, pure resonance of you more. And if you could imagine a tuning fork, that's your resonance, that's you. At the divine spark level, activating your body devas will have this too as a nature spirit of earth. They have a divine spark. So we're going to invite them at the level of their divine spark to activate and amplify their signature resonance, you as a soul at your divine spark level, and the teams. And to amplify that through your entire being. Far beyond concepts. We're going to source. Expression of you. That's formless, but very powerful, potent, authentic, has infinite worth, unique, connected, empowered, helping witness you in that isness of you. And we will upload a replay for all of you to re-listen to, inviting you to relax into if there are technical glitches happening. It's just an indicator of where we're going. Complete reset into the next octave. So just invite more into the part of you that knows, letting it guide, knowing that it is you, and you being in your choice. If you to upgrade to the higher octave of remembering you in a more, it's like succinct way. We're just going to hold the space for the alignment. The activation. I'm smiling because I'm reading your comments and I so appreciate them. I am going to try something. I'm going to try to switch to a different internet source and we'll see if that helps a little bit. It may cut me off, so if I get cut off, I'll come back on. And let's see if that helps a little bit with what's going on. It's an interesting time with this massive upshift. So I'm still holding this knowing and this awareness that in some dimension there's this attunement for you to more of you, more of who you are in truth. And I'm being shown it literally frequency based. So hopefully we're a little more streamlined now with you being able to hear what I'm saying, but recognize that some energetic aspect of you knows. And they're showing me this idea of going up an octave. And as you choose, if you choose to allow your higher self to literally do this for you in a way that's basically tonifying you to a higher vibration, to more of your essence, more of your truth. It's this idea of, from this level, being willing to let go of who you currently perceive yourself to be. And are you willing to surrender everything you think you are to who you truly be? And you might just take a moment to relax into this place of letting go of what's ready to retire and any false identifications of you that exist at the lower octave that you're being invited to release in order to go to the higher octave. And they want me to repeat the question, are you willing to surrender all you currently perceive yourself to be, to remember more of who you really are? We're going to invite the body devas into this as well, and the teams. Inviting some energetic aspect of you, your body, and your teams to begin linking into almost like a preview, coming attractions of who you are as the one at the higher octave. Inviting that future version of you, the other aspect of you that already exists in a higher dimension, to send you appropriate energetic information, to send your body deva for itself appropriate energetic information, and to begin updating your grids, your ways of holding your energy, your ways of perceiving yourself in relationship to yourself, the world, and others to a higher octave. Inviting the upgrade to a higher trajectory experience of the new rollout that's coming, that is already started, technically. And inviting a completion of anything that is still tethering you to the old identification version of you. So we're just going to invite that gentle completion in an appropriate way for each of you, in the appropriate order, timing, and dimensions. Inviting you to work with your future selves in fully actualized states to fully complete any lessons that are pending. Inviting you at the level of your higher self, body, devas, higher self, and teams to activate all vibrations of all spiritual lessons in the appropriate order, timing, and dimensions in an etheric way with the guides, advisors, your future selves in fully actualized states supporting. and then rippling and reflecting the complete and full healing to you here in this now moment, inviting the full energetic completion, cleanup to take place. Hmm. Inviting you to take a deep breath in. And are you willing to remember and expand into more of your true essence as a being of light, far beyond the personality, the behaviors, the thoughts, the beliefs? And can we show you what it feels like, how to, and that it's safe for you to do that in an empowered, conscious, it's like using your free will to choose in that direction. So empowered, conscious choice. And will you release any threads or tethers to the old that are no longer serving you? Returning to sender with love and consciousness what isn't yours, sending appropriate energetic information, returning all responsibility back to them for shifting it for themselves. And as this amplification of your true essence occurs, we're going to invite it to reflect onto all your grids that you use to function in various dimensions, various ways, to upgrade your lenses of perception appropriately. Good. Taking a moment to just imagine if your essence had an aroma, what would it smell like? Some of you may not get an answer to that, and that's perfect. But for some of you, it's going to help you amplify it more. We're not encouraging labels here, but think of an aroma as having a certain vibration. That an aspect of your essence, it can help point to it, can help you relate more to it while you're incarnated in the physical dimension. If your essence had a texture, what would that be? And again, this might not speak to every one of you, but it will some of you. What's the texture of your essence? If it had a color or colors, if it had a sound, and what are the qualities that you deeply value that flow as aspects of your essence. Perhaps there's a kindness and a beauty, integrity, peace, love, safety, support, flow, grace, empowerment, strength, courage, combination of things. And what is the one quality that it's like your touchstone? It's a signature. It's easy for you to go to. You deeply value it. And recognize that that quality is something that took you lifetimes to cultivate. And we encourage you to value it even more from a place of oneness, where you recognize that from a free will perspective, you chose to cultivate this quality for you. And it took you lifetimes, and therefore you deeply value it. And other souls and beings may be working on different qualities and in certain spiritual lessons, i.e., scripts and roles that they're using to cultivate the qualities thereafter. We can't possibly know what that is, but we can allow them to have the same free will that we deeply value that we have to go after what they're after. And in the meantime, we can lean in to our beam of light, our column of light, our own essence, and value it more, appreciate it more, fall in love with it more, not attached to what anyone else is choosing for them. We can't possibly know where they are in the mountain in their journey, what their script is for them. We know that we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt in various incarnations where we played the right side, the wrong side, the good, the bad, to get the lesson. And so we can suspend the judgment. We can suspend the need to come from a perspective of right versus wrong. As we go up an octave into 5D and beyond, what we're being invited into is a multidimensional perspective where we recognize it's all evolution, it's all learning, and we can suspend the need to judge ourselves or others. At the same time, we can still stand in our power and know how to set healthy boundaries and honor the aspect of life that is us by doing so, by setting the healthy boundaries, communicating our boundaries effectively. And the more we value our essence, the more we will hold that energetic responsibility to make sure this aspect of life that is us is honored. Because literally at the point of inception, we were given the responsibility for this aspect of life that is us. It's part of the package. It's the oneness way. I'm in charge of this aspect of life that is me, that thus free will, and every other aspect of life is in charge of itself. So anywhere you're trying to micromanage others' choices, free will, what they're choosing for themselves, what they're being, how they're behaving, will you release and uncreate that and retire the ways of being that are tethering you to the old systems, to the lower octave of consciousness that's actually in the process of retiring. And I'm being shown the idea of having an identity kind of built around being the moral police, making sure everyone else is in integrity, making sure everyone else is honoring other aspects of life. And we were never meant to play that role. We can, and there's learning there, but it's separation consciousness, and it involves taking responsibility for others' choices, which then takes you out of alignment with the liberation grids and the free will reverence that is New Earth. For us to manifest New Earth, it's about revering free will so much that we would never try to choose for another. We would never want for them to be different. We would completely honor where they are in their journey, what they're currently choosing. Not my business. I am so grateful for this aspect of life that is me, and that I get to choose for it, and that I get to steer my own ship. And so we're going to bring in this layer of, it's like next level sovereignty, where we really, really get that it's not about making sure everybody goes with us or everybody's in integrity. It's about simply choosing for this aspect of life and checking and discerning for this aspect of life. Am I in integrity? Am I in integrity with the laws of free will by letting other aspects of life choose for themselves, as long as it doesn't try to cross a boundary that's for me? I'm in charge of setting my boundaries, ensuring this aspect of life that is honored, this aspect of life that is me is honored, and others can choose what they choose. There's learning there. There's karmic stuff that's trying to complete itself from various incarnations. It's like this merry-go-round that's been happening for many, many souls. And so we often refer to this as staying in our own lane, inviting you to stay in your own lane even more, from a place of love, sovereignty, and honoring of free will. The same way the Ascended Masters do. We're going to invite them to model that. The reverence for all life, the reverence for free will. Because if you have your energy going out here onto others, situations, circumstances, their journey, their choices, you don't have it on you to ascend you, to evolve you. And it's not oneness. It's not unity consciousness. You're still energetically functioning as though they're separate from source. They don't have a higher self that is in charge of their journey, that can micromanage for them what they need to be, do, and have. You're attempting to play that role for them, which takes you out of the liberation grids, the oneness way. You're plugged into control systems, control grids that function from separation, and choosing on some level to function as a being that is giving power to separation consciousness, like literally linking into it, instead of choosing oneness way, liberation grids, all beings have free will. I'm going to keep my hands to myself, stay in my own lane, and only choose for me, because that's the divine design. So we're helping to shine a light on this, to bring in the contrast, to help you assimilate, align, and clearly see what the choices are, hopefully more clearly in this full moon energy. And we're holding this higher octave, calling you to it. If you choose, we're not attached to you choosing it. We're helping shine a light on it so that you know what your choices are, and hopefully can see more clearly places and spaces where you or your body, Deva, may still be choosing to agree to the 3D, 4D instead of, oh, let me pull my energy out of that and let's link into where we're going, i.e., higher octave. This attunement to the true self in this transmission is intended to help support you in navigating this in a more streamlined way, where you call to you that which is meant for you, where you are in your path, where you are in your journey. And you begin to perceive yourself in a more harmonious, aligned, authentic way. Therefore, let me make sure this aspect of life that is me is honored more. Those are all energies, vibrations, the ways of pointing to energies and vibrations that are the new earth grids, that help you link into the new earth grids so that new earth can begin to manifest in your own unique life for you, which is how it eventually gains momentum. Every single aspect of life begins to move into it to the degree that they choose when they're ready, and it will begin to have a cumulative effect. And we want to take a moment just to acknowledge you as the ones who are the first penguins in the water. Your courage, your bravery, your tenacity, especially to join us for this transmission that apparently is having lots of glitches in and out. Recognizing that you are an energetic being, that some energetic aspect of you is receiving this as you're choosing it. And you can go back and re-listen as many times as you want and receive, and it's like next level attunement, next level alignment. They are showing me that this idea of the glitches is a bit of a precursor, not to scare anyone, but just recognize that there may be glitches happening in just saw a light fly by. They're like smiling and saying, yes, don't be scared. It's just part of the process. It's like this, the rewiring is the best words I have, because we're literally rewiring into new systems, new grids, and the old ones are being unplugged from. So in that changeover renovation process, glitches will reflect in the physical dimension. And so, not that we're saying you need to have a belief or a conclusion, because we never would recommend that there's going to be glitches, but saying if there are, recognize that it represents, it's symbolic of the upgrade that's taking place. And as you hold that knowing, and lean into that for yourselves to the degree that it resonates as true, you can stay in your discernment and not allow it to move you into a place of fear or disempowered perspective. Now, doesn't mean if there's a glitch, you might not, it's like we still maybe have to do some things in the physical dimension to create a workaround. For instance, tonight, when the original live stream that I scheduled was not working, I started another one and that didn't work. So I started another one and finally got it to work, and then sent out an email that, interestingly enough, when I went to log into, I used Constant Contact. The internet wasn't connecting to let me get into Constant Contact. It said it couldn't load the website. There was just all kinds of glitches for me. And persistence is the kind of what I'm getting to with all of this, is that I just stayed calm. I breathed into, okay, what's the guidance? try again. Okay, let me try again. And eventually I got through. Eventually I was able to send out an email, start a new live stream, and we could move forward. And again, the persistence, because even though there are still some glitches with the audio and video for some of you, I'm gonna keep moving forward, recognizing that in some energetic dimension we're working together, not the physical dimension, and the work is taking place. And that you will be able to revisit this recording anytime you want, to be able to receive it in a conscious way, in a way that honors you, if you choose. There's also a workaround going on right now with my website. It's been down for 4 days. I've been on tech support. Um, and so the workaround for my website right now is to go directly to the online store portion of my website. And you can do that at embracingtheinfinite.store. So www.embracingtheinfinite.store should get you there. My guide Show Me My Website should be up this week. So I'm just being patient, holding space for that to take place. Gratefully, I have access to my email. That's working. I'm just riding the waves because this has happened to me before in the past where everything went really wonky technology wise. And I was in the midst for myself of a massive upshift. And so I feel like that's happening now, but also for the collective. So it's amplified even more. So recognize each of us. The guides are saying each of you is going through your own unique upshift. And so encouraging you to hold safe, nurturing space for you and your body, Devas, for this sacred passage and for humanity. And we kind of shared this message a lot. Maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, it was almost like a broken record. We would say it over and over, but we're going to bring it forward again. Encouraging you into the perspective that when there's a glitch, to not automatically go into a conclusion that something's wrong. So we're going to bring that in as an energetic. There is a knee-jerk response that can occur when something doesn't go as expected, to go into resistance to what is and assume that it's unwanted. And so we're going to show you what it feels like, how to, and that it's safe to meet it in a new way, in your own unique way. You may have your own unique way of just getting curious or staying neutral or beginning to get, it's like, ask the question, what else is possible? I wonder what this symbolizes. Ooh, that's interesting. Or simply take a breath. The guides are saying if you notice when something shows up unexpected and you maybe notice that you're holding your breath or that you're in a contraction or a resistance to the unexpected. And so we're encouraging you to simply notice that, lean into it, and take a breath. It's the difference between closing and opening. And again, we're going to bring this in as an energetic. It's really about how do we meet change? Something different, something new, something unexpected. And it doesn't mean that whatever shows up that's different is something we with open arms embrace either. It means we're in our discernment of whether we want to engage or not engage or keep, or it's like we still hold healthy boundaries. This is the example I'm being shown. I'm being shown a stray animal showing up at someone's door that's totally a mess, like matted and a mess and da, da, da. And you may just welcome it right into your house, or you might work with it outside for a while and help it, or call someone and have them come take it, a vet or someone that would take care of an animal. But it's about being in discernment, they're saying. Be in your own discernment. It's not that you just welcome everything into your home and say, oh, this must be amazing because it's showing up. It's like, be in discernment. Because if this stray animal, for instance, had something it was carrying, like fleas, and you brought it in your home, and you have animals, they could get the fleas. So it's like this idea of being compassionate, loving, helpful, but in discernment and honoring of your own home, your own, which is your consciousness, your beam of light, your energetic fields. As we move into greater and greater sovereignty, it's about us claiming more and more and more responsibility back for our own self, making sure this aspect of life is honored, making sure our energetic fields are clean, again, to the degree that you choose. But it's really at the core about stepping into greater empowerment to do that for you, and not giving our power away for others to do or choose for us. Humanity is in the midst of that learning, that lesson, that invitation right now. And so each of us can do it for ourselves while we hold a safe space for humanity to do the same. And again, this is all free will. So we do it for ourselves to the degree that it's appropriate, that we feel like, yes, I'm ready to move into that for me. Greater sovereignty, more empowerment, more of my true essence, acknowledging and being more of my true essence. And we just want to layer in here that you being and acknowledging and aligning with and activating more of your true essence is not up necessarily like trying to make your expression in the outer world different, how you show up in the outer world. We're encouraging you to let that be a side effect. However, it's like not attached to how I express my true essence in the physical dimension. Okay, so there's a layer here they want to do with purpose. A lot of times we'll link our purpose to the outer expression, and we think that's where our purpose lives, out here in the world somewhere, doing something, being something, writing this book, doing this creative project, working with this person. Those are all effects, ripples of your true purpose, which is a vibration, an aspect of your essence. So we're going to do an energetic process to support you in linking your purpose with your essence. The vibration of your essence, it's like an aspect of your song, your resonance. It's not what people hear, like the effect, the reflection. It's not what you're being in the outer world. That's the reflection of your purpose. I hope I'm articulating that well. The expression of your purpose is not your purpose. It's the expression. It's the side effect. It's the reflection of your essence. So we invite you at the level of your higher self, Body Davis higher self, and teams to work with the energetic fields and the guides to retrieve all reference points for your purpose off the outer world, outer expression, outer accomplishments, outer doing, even outer being. We're pointing to it with words the best I know how. Even what we are appearing to be in the outer world, that's not your purpose. It's an expression of, reflection of, but not it. So everywhere you've made that outcome affect the source of your purpose, will you retrieve all reference points for your purpose back to your beam of light that you be. And let your resonance, your light, be your purpose. An aspect of your light. And anything you gave responsibility outside of you, for you being able to be your purpose or not, will you release and uncreate that? Can we show you how to do that? So like even the idea of if others can't receive my creation, then I'm not able to be my purpose. So we've given others the outer experience of others receiving. Say we want to write a book and we think that's our purpose, is to write this book. And it might be a reflection of your purpose, but it's not the source of it. And if someone doesn't read the book or buy the book or get the book or have the book, then I failed in some way, or I haven't been able to live my purpose. Okay. They just show me another layer. Okay. So inviting you to retrieve all responsibility we gave that situation or circumstance outcome, or making it the source of our being able to be our purpose or not be our purpose. Retrieve all that back to you and be in your own light, honoring your purpose that is your light, letting it be simple, not needing the external to give it to you. Holding all responsibility for you giving it to you within you, in relationship to you, in relationship to source, upgrading those grids, upgrading all those reference points, ways of relating to purpose. And this whole rewiring here might be creating a glitch with the mind being able to understand what we're saying. That's okay. That's normal. It's a very different way of relating to purpose than what we're used to, what we're taught. In separation consciousness, it's out there. It's not out there. And can we show you how to have a stronger relationship in an authentic way from oneness with your purpose, your light, you, that allows for an effortless reflection, expression, any energetic weight in the outer world or expression. And anywhere you've given this outer experience of purpose, outcome, reflection, responsibility to be the source of your fulfillment, can we show you how to release and uncreate that? And to receive the fulfillment directly at source level within you. Give yourself the fulfillment as a vibration from your river of light, your beam of light. There you go. Good. Inviting a balancing and stabilizing of all the energetic fields, updating all your grids, your reference points. all ways in which you perceive and are perceived. Excellent. Grateful for your persistence today. Grateful for your tenacity. There's always a way. Um, and we recognize that for many of you, for all of you really here, you spent lifetimes preparing for this launch point that we are in the midst of welcoming with the equinox. So we just want to take a moment inviting you to acknowledge and, if you're willing, be grateful for all the lifetimes, all the moments that you have ever experienced that have prepared you for this launch point. And you might even lean into your readiness and your willingness to be ready, because that's huge. Even being willing to be ready is huge, because most of humanity right now is not ready to wake up, is not ready to evolve, and they are in resistance to the change. And so us being in the welcoming of it is super powered in of service, first of all, because it models to humanity that it's safe to welcome the change. Whether they are or not, that's up to them. It's happening regardless. And the more we can move into turning to welcome what we're welcoming and opening to welcome what we're welcoming, it's more stabilizing for each of us as individuals, and for the collective, it ripples. It's empathically impacting them. And so we're just going to show you energetically how to do that. And we're also going to invite you, your bodies, your teams at the level of your higher selves to work with the energetic fields and the guides to calibrate your grids for that which is to come. Good. Which then helps it land more gently, because your grids are calibrated for the new. Yes. We are grateful to be and honored to be of service in this way and supporting at this very, from our perspective, celebratory time of launch into the new. Again, you all have spent lifetimes preparing for this. It's here. It's exciting. And from other perspectives, it can be a little challenging, and we recognize that as well. And so we also hold compassion for that as we are in this phase of completion of the old, anything that hasn't yet completed that needs to complete for launch to occur is going to come up to be resolved, to be seen, to be shifted, completed. So we just invite that in a gentle, graceful way for each of you, encouraging some energetic aspect of you to work with your guides and advisors in appropriate dimensions during this full moon energy to bring to a place of completion any aspect of consciousness, moment in time that is still pending, activating all vibrations of those spiritual lessons in the appropriate order, timing, and dimensions. And it's like, from an empowered perspective, moving more into the recognition that you as a conscious being, you are a conscious being because you're doing this session. If you weren't conscious, you wouldn't be in this session. So as a being who's awakened to its ability to choose for itself in a conscious way, you can begin welcoming the empowered ways of evolving you, which means basically becoming aware of what your choices are and choosing in favor of what resonates, instead of rolling around in something in a struggle-based relationship to evolve yourself. You can simply choose in favor of the evolution. And we model that in these sessions. We help to bring forward the choices, to shine a spotlight on what your choices are, remind you what your choices are so that you're able to graduate, if you choose, into a more empowered way of evolving you, where you're simply consciously choosing in favor of the shift, the change, the evolution from an empowered way, empowered perspective, from oneness. And if there's any catches, if you will, like snags in the threads where you can't fully move forward, it's an indicator that something in the past is still inviting the activation of the vibration of the lesson, or you're holding a bundle that doesn't belong to you, or your body is holding something that doesn't belong to it. So we have several videos on our YouTube channel that you can watch. We just uploaded a new one that's about staying in your lane that can help you do this work. And each time you do these energetic processes in a conscious way, inviting your energetic fields to work, not the mind, not the mental mind, the mental body, the energetic fields get stronger and stronger and stronger. So each time you do this type of work, it's easier to do and you're able to go deeper. You're able to clean more of your energetic fields. You're able to get deeper pieces than you were the last time you did the protocol. So all of these sessions, these recordings, these transmissions have layers to them that meet you where you are. And so you're encouraged to use that online library as much as you want in a way that's honoring, and also balancing that with time for integration between workouts, if you will, working yourself out, working out your energetic fields, letting it integrate. With every single tool, teaching, book, perspective that's available to you, we would invite you into your discernment and your empowerment, recognizing that you are a unique being and that something may resonate for you today that doesn't resonate tomorrow and doesn't resonate a month from now, but may resonate again a year from now. So just inviting you to be in your own discernment, following your own light, your own guidance as to what's appropriate for you during this time. And as you anchor into the truth of you and invite that, really you could invite that every single day. Imagine bringing all of your energy back into your beam of light and anchoring into the truth of you, your essence, inviting your higher self to amplify it more. And then you can invite the body, Deva, and teams to do the same. Just witnessing, because you just did it again. And more is shifting. Just that one process is so supportive in you navigating this time for many, many reasons. It helps you stay in your own lane. It helps you have a touchstone for you, your resonance, which means you're going to draw to you what's appropriate for you. It aligns you with your resources, your gifts, begin reflecting more because you're being more of your essence vibrationally. Again, not in the outer world, you're just being it as a vibration. And you automatically link into, organically, what can support you in elevating even more through this accelerated evolutionary ascension cycle that we're in. And in this launch, this new rollout that's preparing, that is happening, that's preparing to roll out, it's both simultaneously, which I know sounds weird, but it's in some way has already started, and in other ways it's about to roll out. Equinox launch point. It's because the veils are so thin right now, the acceleration, there's all kinds of the astrology, everything's playing into this where we're getting bleed through with timelines. So yes, it's about to happen, but are we already feeling the effects of it having already happened? Yes. So it's both. And I know that sounds weird, but you may have noticed that time is behaving very weird for you. You may have noticed thoughts not being able to stick around in your head very long. All of that is the indicators of all that we're pointing to with the upgrades, the acceleration, the rollout. And the more you can make your beam of light your home base for this new phase, uh, the easier it will be. And the more that you actually support all life, because you're modeling the oneness way by staying in your own lane. That's where we're going. Where we're going energetically, again, complete reverence for every single being in free will. So everybody's in their own lane, not attached or responsible for anybody else, not trying to choose for anybody else, only attached to and loving this aspect of light that is me. Yes, I love others too, but I'm not attached to loving them, and I'm definitely not responsible for being the source of it. I'm just being the love that is an aspect of my essence because I love being it, not because I'm trying to do it for another or whatever. No other reason, no other agenda. Just because I love it. Just because I love love. I value it. It feels like home to live in it. So encouraging you to kind of play with that way of thinking. If it's new to you, we know this is radical, but recognize that what makes sense in separation consciousness, it makes sense there because it's congruent with that world, with those ways of being, those ways of relating to self, others, world, life, purpose. It makes sense there. But recognize that in separation consciousness, the underlying assumption is I'm separate from source or they're separate from source. So when we agree to that, we experience life that way. We experience ourselves as though we're separate from source. We experience others as though they're separate from source. And in entering that playground, that's the agreements of that world. So we're in a changeover right now to unity consciousness where we think very differently, we perceive very differently. It's a whole new world. And it's heaven. And everybody gets to have because everybody knows they're one with source and everybody's sourcing at source level. And it's glorious. But a little bit of maybe growing pains as we retire. Old ways of thinking, old ways of being, old identifications of ourselves. Maybe as the savior a little bit, where we've been trying to be the source for others. And when we really see it clearly, we recognize, oh, that's just separation consciousness. And that's not where I'm going. And that's not what I'm choosing. Not putting words in your mouth, just giving examples. This is what I kind of move through for me. Are these kind of ways of perceiving and thinking and awarenesses and ahas of, oh, that's just separation consciousness. That's not what I'm choosing. So that's how we bring to our awareness what our choices are again. And really, every moment is an opportunity to become more aware of what we're choosing. And so we'll leave you with that today. They're showing a small, short, energetic process here in just a moment for a wrap up. But I do want to share a couple things that we have coming up for those who are interested in continuing with us in different ways. So we're going to be offering an in-person immersion here in Carmel, California, April 7th through the 11th. We still have a couple spots available to join us in person. We do have a couple people who are joining through recordings only, and it's the same tuition regardless. So just know that in the past we've offered separate enrollments, but for this one it's the same. And if you do join through the recordings, it won't be live. It'll be a delayed. We'll upload them every night and you'll get them and you'll be able to do your own immersion with yourself with the recordings. Still very potent and powerful. If you do join us in person, we're going to be doing some nature excursions here in and around Carmel and over into Big Sur. So it'll be definitely enhanced to be here in person with us. And this one is going to be a little bit different than the ones we've done in the past. And it feels like a stepping stone into a whole different experience eventually that's coming. Maybe not for a couple years. I don't know that I will offer another in-person immersion for a couple years at least. So it could change because we're in an acceleration and some things feel very far off to me now that it could change. But right now I'm just sharing from transparency what I'm feeling into. And it feels like maybe 2025 or 2026 before I offer another in-person immersion. So if it's something that you are on the fence about or whatever, just letting you know, this might be the last one for a while, and it might be the only one like this. This is going to be different than last time, and it also being shown it's going to be different than future ones. So feel into your knowing. It's called Rise and Awaken to Your Essence. It's over Easter weekend for a reason. It's a very auspicious, energetic, upward momentum spiral. Rise. So lovely. So yeah, feel into it for you. You'll know if it's calling you. And again, that tenacity. Where there's a will, there's a way. The other thing I wanted to mention is we are doing a Equinox Gateway transmission on March 20th. The energetic of that is 3/20/23. And when you write that number down, if you have a piece of paper and a pen, you might just write it down and look at it. There's an activation there. There are codes there. It's a bit of a 0 point energy. I have a hard time giving words to this, but it's an energetic reset. It's almost like the space between the old and the new. And for some of you where you live in the world, it's actually happening on the 21st, but the energetic will be the 3/20/23. So that will help you feel into whether that's for you or not. And again, for this interim, normally you could go to embracingtheinfinite.com, but for right now, go to embracingtheinfinite.store and you'll be able to locate ways to learn more and enroll in any of the upcoming offerings that we're pointing to here. There's another one they wanted me to mention. Let me see. I did write them down because I knew I'd be in an altered state. So those of you who have in the past been kind of maybe on the fence about or curious about the Sacred Circle, it's a very intimate group. We do deeper work. It's a bigger container. We do tons of work in other dimensions with that group. It's accelerated, it's deep, potent work. We're going to be offering another Sacred Circle beginning in June. And I know that sounds like a way off right now, but they also show me with the acceleration, it's going to be here before we know it. So we never really put the Sacred Circle on our website. It's more of a, if you find it, you're meant to find it kind of thing. So if you're interested in joining us for the Sacred Circle, we do applications for enrollment. And simply to ensure that the group is a match for everyone in the group so that we can go deeper, so that we can do the type of work that we do. And so you can send us an email at connect@embracingtheinfinite.com and let us know that you want more information about the Sacred Circle, if that's standing out to you. Normally, it's souls that I've contracted with to work with in that way in this lifetime, so you'll feel the pull, you'll feel the resonance. The other announcement I have is that this Saturday we're doing a group intensive for those who have taken the New Ways of Being for Healers and Empaths series. It's a 90-minute interactive group intensive. And again, we're able to do a bit deeper work there because the framework has already been set by those who have taken the series. You can learn more about that series if you haven't already done it in the online store right now at embracingtheinfinite.store. You can find it there. And it's a potent series that goes through a lot of layers of helping to rewire and release from the old ways of being with healing, being of service, helps with identifying and letting go of why we're having such heightened empathic sensitivity. How do we upgrade how we're holding ourselves, our boundary mechanisms? Are we in alignment with the sovereignty? All of that. There's a lot of release work with ancestral grids, ancestral stuff. So there's just a lot in that series for anyone. Recognize that on some level, we're all healers because we're in the process of self-healing. And so that's really the approach that takes. And then it also is a reframe around what healing is and moving into a more empowered relationship with healing that functions from the oneness and from the liberation grids that we're linking into. So it helps us unhook from the old separation-based ways into the new. We're going to be offering these group intensives for as long as people want them that have taken that series. And the first one, again, is this Saturday, March 11th. It's 90 minutes, and we do those for $77. So it's really a great way to help get that interactive work with us in a way that is maybe more affordable and a little bit easier for some of you. The reason I want to mention specifically the New Ways of Being for Healers and Empaths series is that they show me around the time of the equinox, I will be prompted to kind of take away the sale price that's currently there. So for a little bit of a window here, it's still at a reduced rate. So you might check that out and just see if it resonates for you to do that series. That series then makes you eligible to be able to enroll in the group sessions. And also there are specific rollouts that we're going to do with private session offerings that are exclusive to that group. So you can feel into that if it's for you or not. So they're showing me now the wrap up and they're showing me the moon. So they want to do something with that. So hang on one moment. Okay. So the moon has its own consciousness. Really, every single being, every single object to some degree has its own consciousness. Obviously, crystals, but even objects. Like I'm looking at something that I could pick up pretty easily. This pen, there's an aspect to it having its own energetic consciousness. It may not be sentient like we are, but there's energy there. There's consciousness there, really in everything. And so, not in the physical dimension, right? There's an etheric component that has the consciousness. So the moon has its own consciousness. And regardless of beliefs on its origin, because of how humanity has related to it and other beings off planet have related to it, it's actually an aspect of the celestial family. And it has certain energetic information that it wants to share. So we just invite you at the level of your higher self, if you choose, Body Davis higher self and teams, to work with the energetic fields and the guides to locate a really safe and supportive dimension where you can commune and receive any energetic information that this particular full moon may have for you. And you can receive it through source if you prefer. What it may symbolize, you can receive it directly from source. And when I translate parts of the message, it's about opening and allowing. And there's an aspect where this full moon energy light is inviting, it's asking permission to support you and your body, Deva, in releasing what no longer serves you. And then I'm being shown light codes and light energy. And this is what we would label healthy co-creative support. It's simply another aspect of consciousness, sharing information, sharing light codes that you can choose to bring in or not in your own unique way. You can invite your higher self to bring in only what you need, only what's supportive, only what's honoring. And I don't remember the astrological sign that the moon is in right now, but they're showing me it has to do with welcoming New Earth. And now I'm seeing water. Allowing for flow, allowing for expansion. Inviting you, your body, and your teams to move into an empowered relationship with the light streaming onto the planet right now that allows for a gentle, graceful, empowered expansion, release, cleansing in a way that honors you from a place of oneness. The same way you use the water on planet Earth to clean the physical form. Let this light be like the water, cleaning, helping to clean, cleanse, purify. And even this light of the full moon has a different energetic signature. And so you can imagine yourself in a dimension that's healthy, empowered, woven with the fabrics of sovereignty, safety, support, connection, where this light of the full moon is being used to help to purify in a gentle way, where it can literally, the qualities of the light allow it to literally dissolve what is no longer serving, what you've outgrown, what doesn't belong to you, return it, send information. And so we're just going to invite you, your body, and your teams to work with this in this other dimension for as long as you choose, maybe in dream time. It's a gentle cleansing, using your energetic fields and your etheric self, inviting the body, Deva, to use the energetic fields and the etheric self, not the physical self, to detox. You can do it in this other dimension. It's much more gentle. Good. And so just inviting during this time of unprecedented, unexpected, in a good way. They're saying in a good way. Inviting you to reach for that new way of meeting change that we've invited you into in this session today, where you stand in who you are in truth. You're leaning into your true identity as the light that you be, amplifying the true self more to the degree that you choose, and welcoming the change from discernment. Because again, we're not just going to let everything into our house. You're still the gatekeeper for what comes through the door and what doesn't. Yes, we're in a quickening, we're in an acceleration, and there's a lot of change. But what we're inviting you into is to not be in resistance to new things showing up. Neutral is good. Welcoming is good, but not welcoming from a place of having blinders on and not being in your discernment. So we don't just want to come from an assumption in either case. We don't want to come from conclusion that, oh, this is new, so it must be something I'm supposed to welcome. It's really about not being in resistance to unexpected, new, unfamiliar things showing up, standing in your power, being in your choice to let it in your home or not let it in your home. What would honor this aspect of life that is me in the best and highest way? And you can invite your higher self to help you navigate that. One of the old ways of being, and we'll just point to this because it's coming forward, in healing and being of service, was that we would just be a doormat and that we would take everything on to be of service, like the martyr, the savior, the taking on other people's burdens. And that is not what we're pointing to. That's being invited to retire. So for all of you where that's still running, can we show you what it feels like, how to, and that it's safe to move into the choice to retire it if you choose, to be willing to retire it if you choose, and to begin working with your guides and advisors, your higher selves, and maybe even in this full moon energy, in that dimension where you're working with the light of the moon, to support you in untethering from, retiring, reweaving your identity grids appropriately, and upgrading your identity into a place where it's more congruent with honoring the aspect of life that is you from a place of oneness, recognizing that when you honor this aspect of life that is you, you honor all life, and you honor and are in alignment and integrity with the divine design, the oneness way. Bringing in that energetic, and we invite a balancing and stabilizing of all your energetic fields, updating all your grids, all your reference points, and all ways in which you perceive and are perceived. In this time of reset, may you use it to gently bring to awareness that which is ready to retire, and to use your free will conscious choice, your higher self, your ability to choose for you, in collaboration with your higher self, to move into the more honoring, to move into greater alignment with the true self, and to begin to reflect then an experience of you that is more congruent with who you really are in truth. Much love to each of you, and we'll look forward to connecting again soon. Blessings.